Welcome to Faro International in Portugal, and today's flight is going to be towards to Madeira, also known as Cristiano Ronaldo International Airport, and we are flying as Air Azores 124. And if I just show you where exactly is Faro International. Sorry about that. This is the Iberian Peninsula, this is Spain, this is Portugal, and Faro is at the southernmost tip or the coast of Portugal. And we are currently parked at stand number or gate number 316, and the passengers have been loaded, irises are being aligned. As far as the passengers are concerned, we are carrying 238 passengers, cargo of 6.5 tons, and block fuel of 14.1 tons. The approximate flight time is 2 hours, and obviously I won't be recording the whole 2 hours. I'll be editing this and cutting it down to the shortest possible time. Right. So we are going to be taking off from runway to, where's my route? That's the alternate. Runway 28 via the NATA 7 uniform departure or SID, and then direct to Lidro and Lidro 1 Papa star into Madeira and doing the circling VOR DME approach. Yeah, visual approach, but first fly over the Funchal VOR. Now, for the taxi briefing, because we'll be taking off from runway 28, we'll be pushing back onto facing the nose facing east, and then onto Bravo, and then from Bravo to Papa, and from Papa to runway 28. The NATA 7U departure is pretty simple. It's not zooming in. This is our departure chart. We have the 7 Echo, 7 Uniform, and 7 Echo is from runway 10. So, Faro approach, there's no ATC, but you can get the frequency from here. Transition altitude is 4,000 feet. And if I zoom in, NATA 7 Uniform, runway 28, turn left, intercept VFA, that's the Faro VOR DME, at a radial of 258 to NATA. So that's a direct to NATA. We take off from runway 28 and turn left and intercept the 258 radial of the Faro VOR, identifier as Victor Foxtrot Alpha, VFA. So on to the NATA 7U departure, direct to NATA. Cruise altitude is 33,000 feet. If we get the time, I'll do a step climb if I can. I'm not familiar with the procedure in the FMS, how to do that, but I'll just use the MCP or the FCU. So that takes care of the departure briefing. And now let me do the cockpit preparation, and I'll resume the recording at APU Start. Now, something about the A310 and this departure. This VFA is not a real waypoint. I already have a video which I shared with the Guys, on the Navigraph forums, I thought initially this was an error with the database, but this is actually a fictive waypoint, a calculated waypoint, but the A310 cannot recognize it. And on the FMS, it's something like this: runway 28, Faro runway 28, climb to 430 feet, and then intercept uh, the radial, and then VFA. So if I do this, if I allow this to happen, so this is what's going to happen. Plan mode, Indian plan mode, and let me show you. You'll be only able to see the screen, and let me just zoom in. Right. Now, as you can see, after climbing 430 feet, we go to intercept and then back to the Faro VFR. So the VFA is not recognized as a fictive waypoint but as a VORDME at Faro. So it's basically going to turn you. It's going to do a U-turn and come back and fly over the VORDME at Faro. So these need to be taken out, deleted. These two waypoints from the departure. Okay. So back to the flight plan. So I'm just going to clear VFA and I'm going to clear intercept and clear the discontinuity. So after 430 feet, straight to NATA 7U or on the radial and onto the SID. So that's all for the FMS. So starting the APU, so beacon light goes to on, strobe lights to auto, and start the APU. Alright, so I missed another thing. Initial climb clearance is 6,000 feet. So I'm going to set that on the FCU. So click up here and here. 6,000 feet. And today is the 19th of December, so I'll use ignition A. That should turn off the pack switches, packs, the pack valve. And now for the pushback.
Cockpit to ground.
This is ground. Stand by.
For passing 3,000 feet, traffic please advise, Faro traffic.
Sir, the bypass pin is installed. All doors and hatches closed and all ground equipment is removed.
The parking brakes are set. You may lift.
Parking brake set. Lifting the aircraft.
We are cleared for start and push.
Okay, cleared for push start. Please release parking brake.
Okay, elapsed time on the FO. And we'll release the parking brake.
Please release parking brake.
Parking brakes are released.
Commencing pushback. You can start the engines in sequence.
It will start in the sequence.
Oh, right over the truck, catering truck. As soon as we're clear of the gate area, think I can now safely go on to this part. Ignition A, and a little bit of cheating. Engines are clear. Engine number 2, start. N1 16 N2 16. Introduce fuel. 20% introduce fuel. Fuel flow, oil pressure, EGT, everything rising, N1 rising.
Okay, pushback completed. Please set your parking brake.
Parking brake set.
Parking brake set. Lowering aircraft.
You can put this away.
Ground. You may disconnect.
Okay, sir. Clear to disconnect. Pin has been removed. See you at the side. Have a good flight.
Holding position waiting for the visual. Thank you and goodbye.
Brake brake thrust. Onto the taxiway. That's Bravo. And on Papa. Here I see. Profile. Let's hold short here and just wait for the Faro traffic, Air Azores 124 lining up runway 28. Faro traffic. Oops, too fast. Last minute checks. Not bad. Did I do a bad lineup? 40%. Faro traffic, Air Azores 124 departing runway 28. Faro traffic. Stabilized. Prestoga. Release the parking brakes. Has a slight tendency to yaw to the left. Airspeed alive 80 knots. 100 knots. Here comes V1. V1 and rotate up to the flight directors. Okay, oh sorry. Silly me and my flying. Command A. Sorry, that's not Command A, that's Autopilot 1. So used to the Boeing. Right. gear up. And it's onto the Narta. Gotcha, speeding up. Flaps can go in. Reaching S-speed. Above S-speed, slats can go in. That's the Atlantic Ocean. Speed brakes can be disarmed now. Approaching 4,000 feet. And I can pull for standard. There we go. Southern coast of Portugal on our right. So we are at 33,000 feet at the top of flying, and it has been 16 minutes since departure, since takeoff. Profile. Engines pulling up. Oh, all the way to 100.2%. There's a So the top of descent is not that far away after Narta. Somewhere, I think, before Lidro. Now, Lidro 1 Papa Star. Here's the chart. Let me drag down. So Lidro 1 Papa, Raccoon 1 Papa, RNAV arrivals, all runways. For special procedures and operating limitations refer to 10-1P pages. Okay. Now we're going to be after Narta we're going to be flying to Lidro, fixed Lidro, then Mike Alpha 536 and Mike Alpha 534, and we should be above 4,000 feet. But there are speed restrictions here, as you can see. Maximum 280 knots between flight level 245 and flight level 100. That's okay. We might even go above 280 knots while descending, not a problem. Max 250 knots at or below flight level 100. That's understood. Nothing new. But at or below flight level 70, max 220 knots. Okay. And at or below 4,000 feet, max 200 knots. And Lidro 1 Papa goes to Lidro, Mike Alpha 536, Mike Alpha 534 above 4,000, and then to Pilim above 3,000 feet. Anything else? No. Okay, so there are 3 charts to this. So 13-1, that's the first chart. After arriving at Porto Santo, we go to SNT, or yeah, that's a fix. Okay, cover, and let me say final approach. For final approach, we'll see the next one in a minute. Then go to Abusu, initial approach fix. Okay. After Abusu, it's over the Funchal VOR, 112.2, 4,000 feet. Okay, I thought we were at 3,000 feet, but we're going to be at 4,000 feet. 112.2, Funchal VOR. After crossing Funchal VOR, we will be going, well, that's Fusul. So this chart is only for this segment, I guess. For final approach, see the next chart then. Where are my charts? Where did I put my charts? I just open up the charts. No. 13-1A. Final approach course is 211 degrees. That's not the final approach course on the runway. That's the final approach course for tracking the outbound radial 211. 211 degrees. You can go to VR lock mode coming out of the Funchal VOR. And at DME 3.6, that's the Mike Delta 211 fix. It's basically either continue on or turn right towards Fusul. Now there's a holding point at Abusu also, and we have the final approach fix at DME 7.0. DME 7.0, 3,000 feet. So from Abusu, wasn't Abusu supposed to be, pin this, pin this, pin this. So Abusu was supposed to be 4,000 feet, no? 3,000 feet, okay. 3,000 feet and FD211, 3,000 feet. Execute all turns over the sea due to high terrain to the north and west of the airport. And MDA 940 feet. 940 feet. Decision height 794 feet. That's the radar altitude. Turn left onto heading 1370 to intercept radial 170. Proceed to Fusul, climbing to 3,000 feet counter approach. Right. And transition altitude is 5,000 feet. Right. So VOR, cross the VOR at 4,000 feet. We're supposed to be at 3,000 feet, then we're going to climb. I don't know. 3,000 feet to MD211. And then there's a 2 here. I don't know. So 3,000 feet, Abusu, Foxtrot, Delta 211, that's the final approach fix. A glide slope, a gentle, shallow glide slope of 2.12 degrees, around 600 feet per minute, if your ground speed is 160, and down to the missed approach, or the minimums. The visual approach. So Yeah, after you disconnect the autopilot at the missed approach procedure, your recommended 190 knots should be fully configured. Minimum 940 and a DME 6.0 from Funchal. We are going to take a starter turn on the GELO, minimum 850, Rosario 460. That's not programmed into the FMC, but we can, although that's just not much of a help because the ND is too small in the A310. It's not like the 737, like you get the full picture or the big screens, but I can just program them in. Okay, so and then it's a manual visual approach down to LPMA, right, and put GELO. And then Rosro. It's not Rosario. It's, I mean, for entering into, what's the matter with my throttles? It always does that. Rosro. There we go. It's the one over here. And you can clear the flight plan discontinue. Alright. About to descend to 4,000 feet. Put the light on, strobe light to on, and profile descent. Right, 10,000 feet, 220 knots, 220 knots, 250 knots. Landing lights come on. Right. ZiboMod. Speed brakes in, speed brakes in. There we go. Funchal, 2111 knots. 211, no, sorry, 11 degrees. 211 degrees. And it's all overcast. should disconnect the autopilot and the auto throttle and fly it by hand. Right. Disconnecting. And auto throttle, disconnect. Stop the VR lock. Runway heading. I've gone too far down, Speed up. Speed up. I've gone below minimums. Stall speed. -049 degrees. This is an embossed approach. -049. Okay. Keep it at that. Speed brake armed. Let's see how I do this. Madeira approach, Azores 124 on final for runway 05. Madeira traffic. Sorry. And I'm on full thrust. If I go any more than this, then the go around thrust will trigger. Reduce. Hold the coastline. And
400.
Yes. Too low. Keep the speed up. Keep the thrust up.
400.
I'm too low. I'm not on glide slope. Not on pappies. Not on pappies at all.
300.
Not on pappies at all. Too low.
200. 100. 30. 20. 10. 5.
All thrusts. Oh, that was bad. And I did not turn on the nose light. And that was it. Elapsed time goes off. That was the flight from Faro to Madeira. And terrain radar goes off. Brake fans on. 1 I'm not retracting the flaps, but I should. I'll do the cleanup after the replay. Continuous tree light no longer needed. And on to the let's break it. Not happy with the landing, but at least we're down. And that's a nice gentle slope. We can park it here. There we go. Madeira traffic, Air Azores 124, vacated runway 05, Madeira traffic. And so, welcome to Madeira. It was not a very gentle landing because when I was decrabbing, I should have done the opposite aileron, but I did not, so it was quite a heavy touchdown. Yeah, but we're down. That's what matters. Transponder to Tara, sorry. Transponder to X. Transponder to transponder. And a bit of cheating. Cheating. tan is meant for the A310 or wide-bodied aircraft. In any case, uh, thank you for watching, and see you next time. You can watch the replays now while I go through the checklists of shutting down this aircraft. And have a nice day. Bye bye.